We're Jess and Freddie, and Winnie of course. We've just completed a 6-month home renovation project on our London Victorian terrace, and now we're here to share the final results of our big project, turning this house into our dream home. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another room reveal. This week we are doing the hallway. So in this video I'm going to talk you through how we designed and created a welcoming, cozy hallway. It's so important. It's the entrance to your home. It's the first thing people see when they walk in your house, and it was really important to us to try and make this a thing in a house that was not designed to have an entrance. Okay, so first up I'm going to chat about the design of the space. So if you remember, when walking into our house you had the staircase straight ahead of you and it was very dark and narrow, and then immediately to your left you had the dining room. So whenever you walked into our house you arrived in the dining room and it just wasn't designated space for coats and shoes and stuff, and it didn't feel very welcoming. So that was the first thing that we wanted to fix when we were rejigging our ground floor. We wanted to open up the whole space, and this was a really thought out process when working with our architect, and we did a few mock-ups of drawings of how the hallway would work, where we'd place the downstairs toilet and where we would place the utility room. I think we had in total 7 drawings from our architect, and then we kind of pulled things from each and then created the master copy, which was the one we went with. I think that actually designing any part of your house is very unique to you and like what your needs are in your home. Because we have a side door to our house, it's quite a pokey, clunky entrance anyway to like welcome people into our home. So we just kind of wanted to like open up this space as much as we could. So when designing the ground floor, we had 3 top things that we wanted. Number 1 was the welcoming, spacious hallway. Number 2 was the utility off the kitchen. So not a utility off the hallway as a completely separate room. We wanted that like straight off the kitchen. I can tell you now what is one of the best decisions we made. I am like in and out of that room all day. It works so well for us, and I know that this was such a divided opinion on Instagram when we were like deciding and I was sharing loads of different layouts. Number 3 was we wanted to be able to see the garden from our front door. So when you walk into your house, it's lovely to be able to then see your outdoor space immediately. This is something I learned from George Clark's Old House New Home and I've always remembered it. And it was something that always like stuck in my mind when we were like designing the floor plan, and we managed to keep that. We managed to do all 3 of those things, and there was a few things we still couldn't do, but that's what we managed. They removed the glass panel above our door and they've been cementing it up. Had to go because you can see that grey thing there is a pad stone that went in. It's going to be holding up the steel that's going in tomorrow, which is going just below this wooden beam here, and that is going to hold up all this. Well, we're going to remove this, but it's going to hold up the staircase. Still propping up our house. So the pad stones went in today, concrete's going to dry, steel is going to go in tomorrow. Other ones there.
I've been trapped here for years. Send help.
We are fully into phase 2 of the build. This morning, the builders have now put on the beams as to where that partition wall is going to be. So, if you obviously come in here, we've got stairs there. This is all going to stay open. And then our downstairs toilet is obviously going to be under there. This is going to be a hallway, and then this is going to be a hallway. And then that's going to be the kitchen door into the kitchen. This is our utility room that you'll obviously loop back on yourself, so you'll come through here. So interior wise in this area of the house, we never actually really focused on themes or what style we wanted to go with. It was definitely the last room we were considering. We knew the wall colour was going to be Gentle Shadows by Valspar. This is the colour that runs through all 3 hallways of our house, so it's the colour behind me as well. The perfect neutral, in my opinion. And we obviously knew the floor because we were always having that engineered oak flooring running through from the lounge, the hallway into the kitchen. Whilst we had the floor and the walls, which was our kind of central themes of the house, as the paint colour and the flooring runs through different rooms, so it was kind of like our red thread that they say. We didn't have anything else. So then I started to mull over the kind of look I wanted for the entranceway, and I love Studio McGee entranceways, foyers, hallways, whatever you call them. The perfect balance of neutrals and industrial and vintage and contemporary, just they just do it so well. So trying to emulate that look across the pond, we went with the steel rod balustrades for the staircase, and then I thought about doing vertical shiplap on the walls. This was such a last minute decision, and my builder turned it around in a morning. I am so impressed. He's literally a magician. I wanted it because I knew it would add more character to the space without being like really imposing as a look. He came up with this genius plan, which meant we didn't need to individually cut each plank of wood and nail it to the wall. He took a piece of MDF and he measured it up against the wall, and then he took his circular saw and he cut into it 1 millimeter deep grooves that look like paneling, and then they stuck the piece of MDF to the wall. Absolute genius. I'm so impressed with this. Freddie's just done a coarse sanding. Then he's gonna do a fine sand. Then he's gonna fill all the holes. And then we're gonna sand that, and then we're gonna paint them. Let's cook, bitch. So as part, okay, our decorators have just arrived and Winnie's losing the plot. Winnie, can you please chill out? Thank you. Winnie, come here, come on. Come here. Good girl, let's get you out of that room. One thing I'm actually really glad we did in this space was we hired professional painter decorators. Did it as well for the kitchen living area. Mainly because we were completely broken as humans by the end of this project, and we were running out of time. Carpets were already getting installed, things were ready, and painting hadn't been done. So we left it to the professionals, which I know that painter decorating is an expensive trade. It is worth every single penny, and I have never heard someone say who has enlisted the services of a painter decorator that it wasn't worth it. They did such a lovely job, and I would say that if you can't afford to do your whole house, which we couldn't, we didn't budget for that, pick the most important rooms to you. So for me, I would recommend that being rooms that you spend the most time in, or rooms that are going to be seen first when people come into your home. So that for us was the kitchen living area and the hallway. So they primed all the MDF of that secret panelled door, takes you into downstairs toilet, and the light got installed yesterday, so it is a sensor, so you walk in and the light comes on, which is great. It means we don't need a light switch on the outside. I'm just so obsessed with that marble slab there. The tap and the sink are in. I ordered them on Etsy, and then I got these on Amazon, so this is unslotted. Third time ordering to get it right size and colour, but it was like 15 quid, and then the stop trap was like 30 quid, which is really good value. I'm gonna paint it in green, Farrow & Ball green smoke in here. My only gripe about this, this area is that the Grohe toilet came with a silver flush plate instead of brass, and it's 190 quid to buy a Grohe gold flush plate on its own, which is just not gonna happen. And it was like, absolutely no way for the downstairs toilet are we doing that. It's cost more than the actual like toilet itself. We are gonna go up these freshly carpeted stairs. Look how gorgeous. This is the country living range from Carpetright and the floor room in barley colour. It's the Heartland style carpet with the kind of like square hatching on it. It is a loop carpet. We went for a neutral coloured whipping on the side. Instead of the tab, I wanted a really slim edge to the side of the carpet. and we dithered with going black, and I love that black on neutral carpet colour, but to be honest, like, I don't want anything to be a trend that I will get sick of, so I just thought I'm gonna stick with neutral because I will never tire of neutral. We have to get our banister. So the company I ordered from, Jackson Turners, for the steel thin black rods going up and then an oak banister, the production is delayed. It's not coming until August. So we got the oak post from Starebox because they are much cheaper. Final lighting dilemma that I need to choose from is the hallway light. We have the entrance here. We've got in the hallway this track lighting here which leads to the kitchen, and then we also have spotlights here, there and there, and finally we just need to get a light to hang here in front of the door. Now, because the ceiling isn't that high and we don't want anything to hit the door when you open it, like on entrance, and also just nothing too low hanging because when you come down the stairs it will just be like the eye line won't be great. I've ordered some flush casement lighting for the ceiling. I've got two to pick from. This one here and this one from made.com. So this was actually my first choice and it's just arrived and I'm actually not sure about it anymore. First of all, and I know I could have measured it and I did, but it's bigger in real life than I thought it would be. I also didn't realize it was going to be grey. It said smoked glass, but it didn't look like, it looked a bit more transparent than that, so I think it's too grey. And now I'm going to open this one. Just first off, it's definitely going to be the one. I know it, like there's no contest here. This one is from Lighting Direct. Right, I'm saving the unboxing because it was perfect and my electrician's here, so he's already put it in. I love it so much. It is the perfect light fitting for the entrance to our house. Please ignore the doorway behind me, it needs a little scrub. Hello, beautiful lighting. Yes, you are absolutely perfect. I love it. And as well, just you're gonna get all the angles from me. So when you're walking down the stairs and then you see it, it's simple, but it's still a statement piece. It's perfect height-wise for the door. Door's never gonna smack it when it opens. It is perfect, I love it. Also, it was very good value. I think it was like 65 quid, which it looks so fancy. Sorry, just one more time. Yeah, okay. Look, I just love it. Oh, it's perfect. That was also like a rush last minute thing. Trawled everything and found these two lights, made.com and Lighting Direct, and it's a winner. I'm so happy when things like that come together. Okay, so it's been 2 months since the build finished and we were just like working on getting all the interior stuff and like our responsibility stuff done. Now there's one last thing we need to do before being able to get building control to come over and sign off our build, give us our pass certificate that everything is safe. That is a fire safety rated glass door between the kitchen and the hallway. Now you don't always need this for all homes, but because we have 3 floors, I'm in the loft right now, and it's because we did a loft extension that we need to replace all our bedroom, living and kitchen doors to fire rated doors. So if you can see here, see that wooden frame, that is a fire safety frame, and same for the kitchen. Now if we put in a normal wooden door that's cheaper, they're still about 400 quid, but they're much cheaper than glass, it would just block that wonderful entrance that we've got between the hallway into the kitchen. I think it's so inviting that you step through the front door and you can see the kitchen and out to the garden. So really want to maintain that, but can't afford an aluminium frame steel glass door. So we have a hybrid solution of the two. We're going to do a wooden frame door, but with the fire rated safety glass. Found a wonderful company, the Wooden Door Company. What Anesh, great guy, has mocked up for me here. We've got an awkward width, so it's 1055 millimeters. So we're going to do a 762 wide door, which is your standard door, 158 glass panel at the side. The final hurdle of the hallway is just painting on this MDF bit here. So I actually primed it yesterday with this wood primer, which is like a grey colour, and I'm just going to paint over it the same colour as this, so it all blends. This is Gentle Shadows by Valspar.
Love painting. freehand like bowls.
So, if you remember from before, when you came in and looked up this staircase, we had the wall here and this felt very dark and very narrow. So putting in this banister like this just opens up the space a lot more. And then obviously this used to be the dining room, and now we've got this designated hallway space. We've got storage for shoes and Winnie's towels over here. And we've got this floor to ceiling mirror, which is perfect to, you know, check yourself before you're leaving the house. Also, the good thing about the mirror is it bounces the light off it. So it just means that we're getting natural light in this way and natural light in this way. I realize at the moment there's like no natural light because it's like 4:30 in the afternoon. But it means that then light coming in from these angles, and then we have a mirror here to bounce it all off. So it's just giving this very dark space the best chance at natural light that it can get. Then over here, I don't know if you remember, but this was literally a cupboard. And now, ta-da! It is the downstairs toilet, and she is all finished, all painted. I'm just going to talk you through this bit quickly. Don't mind that noise. It is the extractor that goes on automatically when the light sensor turns on. So like I mentioned before, there's no light switches on the inside or the outside. So this wall stays completely clear of anything apart from our heating system. Okay, so the colour we've gone in here is Green Smoke by Farrow & Ball. We have painted literally everything in here. The walls, the ceilings, the door frame, the skirting boards, everything. And we have done eggshell so that it's easy to wipe clean, because obviously when you're cleaning around this area, the splashes from the sink is just wiped really easily. This is where all our electricity grid and meters are. So this comes off, you pull it off. It's actually attached with Velcro. Winnie, I'm trying to do a tour here and you're wanting a cuddle. So we can pull this off easily because it's attached with Velcro behind here if we ever need to get to our meter. And then over here we've got the very small sink. This is 40 centimeters wide, so it's a very, very small sink, which I think really works, along with a short projection wall-hung toilet. The door frame, which is a regular door frame 762 wide, there is nothing obstructing it when you come in, so actually the space feels quite big, which is important because you don't want to feel cramped in the downstairs toilet, even though it is literally a cupboard. Tiles are from Tile Flare. We've got two. They're 1.2 meters tall, so if you can see it starts there and it goes all the way to the ceiling, and they're 600 wide. So there is a cutting here and then here as well. The builders tried to like match it up as well as they could. They were really, really good at doing that through the tiles. I love that because look, there's a cut here and a cut here, but that kind of still almost flows through. We have put some dried foliage in here because there's no natural light, so that never needs watering and it's never gonna die. I popped some fancy hand soap in here because this is the most frequently used bathroom by our guests, so that's a really nice little touch there. And overall I'm so happy with it. Close the door. It's hidden, obviously apart from the handle, but it just blends back into the wall. Another thing I will say about in here, we had the floor continuing in and we decided not to put a threshold in here, and it just gives that continuous flow and it makes this area feel a bit bigger. We also did this in the living room, so there's no threshold here, and it just means that this flooring, which we have got that runs the whole way through the house, is continuous, and I just love that flow. Mistakes in this project, or this room, I would say the one mistake I made was going for brass taps. I should have listened to my own advice. I said don't go cheap with the brass, and even though the quality is good, the colour looks a little bit cheap. I'm not the biggest fan. I wish I'd gone chrome, and actually I was so set on the gold taps because I had the green and I had the warm marble, like slight orange and warmth in this stone pattern. So I thought that gold would be the best hardware to go with, but I actually realise now that chrome would probably look a bit nicer, and chrome is the best quality. It doesn't tarnish, it doesn't scratch. Yeah, I think I actually might change it. So our builder has two final jobs to do, building the additional kitchen unit and building our bedroom wardrobes and bespoke carpentry doors. And I'm thinking that I might actually order a chrome tap and then just get him to install it when he's here. Just sell them on eBay and be done with it. Freddie was actually asking me the other day, like, what if you could change one thing about this house, what would it be? And of all the little mistakes we've made, I actually genuinely think that it's that I would change the chrome tap. Also, as you can see here, we have, this is the emergency hatch just behind Winnie, who is modelling it nicely. We can pull that off. It has the same Velcro settings as the meter box inside the downstairs toilet, and that is emergency to get to the plumbing for the downstairs toilet. All the pipes run under the floor. It's quite discreet. You can see it, but it's not an eyesore, and I like that. Like, my builders are just so good with this cutting here. All the lines are perfect. Here is the MDF sheet in all its glory. So I think there's 2.5 sheets on this wall, and then there's one sheet on this, and it actually, the sheets didn't get all the way to the ceiling, which is 2.6 meters. So yeah, I'm so happy with the vertical shiplap here. And we decided to not have it on this wall, and I think that was the right decision. So that is just simple, because then that kind of continues through on all these freshly plastered walls, and then we have the shiplap in the hallway area. Okay, and I absolutely love this. I didn't even ask my builder to do this, but he just gets it, you know? He has had to cut at this end and at the top end of the baseline for the spindles to go in. So when he was cutting them, he has managed to match up every other balustrade, matches up with a groove in the paneling, and then there's one that sits in between. And I just appreciate so much his, like, precision and like eye for detail with stuff like that. When you do little details like that often and make everything symmetrical and line up, it just gives this beautiful balance in the room. Or I realise the best idea was definitely to do the neutral whipping on the side. I think it just means that then black balustrades stand out as the feature on the staircase, which I still adore. When you arrive in, you can still see our garden. So I love that light that comes through into the hallway. Okay, I really need your opinion on this. So ordered this from Amazon, my console table. I think I should paint it. Now, Freddie says no, because he says that I paint everything, and can I just not leave it in the original form it came in? The answer is no, I cannot. This is very, very warm, or at least it looks very warm against the coolness of these tones. So I just think there's too many different colours of wood here, and then we have the oak on the banister. Maybe instead of paint, I was thinking of getting like a dark wax and doing it maybe more like a mahogany colour and having something a bit more traditional looking, because it is quite a traditional looking console with these grooves, and these are very gothic handles, like medieval style. So yeah, let me know what you think. Whilst we're here as well, everything, I will tell you where it's from. So this is Amazon. Baskets are Dunelm, and this is our shoe one, and then this is the towels for Winnie, so when we come back from muddy walks, This little poppet gets her paws cleaned, doesn't she? This is a candle from the Wild Glow. Shout out to my mum and my sister and their candle business. So my first ever scented candle I ordered from them was the rose water, and I'm hoping that I get some family special treatment and that I can get for you for Christmas. Thanks, Mum. These frames, this is from the charity shop, this vintage frame, and Palma de Mallorca is a very special place to us because it was where we went when we got engaged. And then this is a piece of wallpaper that we found when our builders were knocking down walls in the house. We managed to salvage it, our builder did. He so carefully peeled it off after like wetting the wallpaper, and we managed to keep a whole tree. And this frame is West Elm, and I bought this so long ago, like I think 2 years ago, and I have always kept it for the right moment, and when I got this piece of wallpaper I knew this was the frame for it. It's really solid and I love the kind of chunkiness of it, and the size of the mount is really nice compared to the size of the image. I have looked high and low and tried to find who the print designer was. I had a look at like William Morris prints and everything, and I just couldn't find a match. Our house was built in 1883 and we think it is the original because we found a more kind of like 70s wallpaper on top of it, and we had to peel that off first, and then we got that kind of like Celtic kind of mulberry tree looking one. So yeah, if anyone has any inkling of what era that is or the wallpaper designer, let me know. I know that is a long shot. But yeah, she sits pride of place at the entrance to our home. I love that because it's like we have changed this house so much, but that is just a little reminder of the house from 160 years ago. And back here, the lamp is West Elm. So this is the pebble lamp, and I've got it in blue. I've also got a black one on the top floor in the same shape. So I love that that is like a continuous shape throughout the house. Mirror is also West Elm. I can't remember where the handle's from, but I will link it in the description when I find it. Our heating system we have installed is Nest. And then this banister pre-drilled is from Jackson Turner Co. I will link all of it below. The floor is Antique Bright White by Direct Flooring. I will also link that below. And it's 20mm engineered oak, which I love because it's so solid. Like sometimes, you know, when you've got a really thin floor and you walk on it, it feels a bit bendy. Well, this is like really solid, and they laid it straight on top of our floor below. It's been leveled out in here, which is concrete under this bit because our underfloor heating starts here for the kitchen. And the doormat here is from John Lewis. It's a jute doormat. It was £20, which I thought was really good value. It's a really good quality one. It's a few months old and nothing has pulled yet, which I'm surprised about because I have a dog. So I was expecting it to be a little more worse for wear than this. So yeah, good quality at a really good price, and it kind of just blends in, which is what I wanted. So that works. Well, that is it from me for another week. I hope you enjoyed another one of my room reveals, and I will be back next time with another room for you. I will see you next week with another video. Bye.